Off the beaten path, David's pick is in Sonoma County, where a pedigreed chef has settled in a quaint, funky cabin. Wood-fired cooking produces casually elegant dishes that make the stars shine in Glen Ellen. Prepare to be star-struck at Glen Ellen Star.
New York City really spoils you. You have access to anything you want at any time of day or night. Glen Ellen is certainly a more slow-paced country life. At 9 o'clock, our town's done. It's over. My name is Ari Weisswasser, and I own Glen Ellen Star. When I lived in New York City, I worked in a lot of fine dining restaurants. And on my one day off a week, I wanted something a little bit more rustic with less rules, really. I gravitated toward restaurants. They cooked like that. They cooked in that style. They weren't afraid to almost burn something. Restaurants that had wood ovens, really. It's another level of flavor you almost have to discipline yourself not to be afraid of. And so we decided to anchor the middle of the restaurant with a wood oven. And it's positioned so when you drive by the restaurant, it's the first thing that you see. We like to use local wood. We have madrone and oak and some vines and things like that, and use local produce as well. Over time, we're using our garden and we're using local connections really to define our menu. We like our servers to bring their own personality into the restaurant. Our guests really gravitate toward that. They almost become friends, and they request certain servers on certain nights. It's almost like you're looking forward to eating in a restaurant, not just because of the food, but because of who's there. And then leaving with just having a great time and not really being able to pinpoint why it was great, because there were so many great things, and give them that escape from the day-to-day.
So David, Chef Ari has quite a pedigree, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He trained under Daniel Boulud in New York. He cooked at Picholine, which is one of my favorite restaurants in New York.
Absolutely.
Fabulous place. And he spent, I think, at least 2 years with Thomas Keller at the French Laundry.
I think Chef Ari wanted to strip all his classical training sort of fussiness away, and it's about 4 ingredients, right?
He's stripped all the fussiness away, absolutely. Right. But he can't hide the fact that the technique is there. It's really well known for its vegetables, all of which are cooked in the brick oven.
And many of them come from his garden.
Many of them come from his garden, and of course with their association with the Benzigers. Benzigers is the first
And that's his wife, Erin Benziger.
Yes, Erin.
That's right.
And of course it's the first winery in the country designated as biodynamics. The Brussels sprouts are amazing. I mean, you have to really think about booking a confessional with your doctor the next morning, because they have these Brussels sprouts cooked in the oven and then with a brown sugar bacon marmalade.
This dish is so decadent. The outsides are bright green, but the edges are crispy and roasted. Yes. And then this bacon brown sugar marmalade is so sweet and salty and smoky.
I did not have the Brussels sprouts, but now I will go back and have the Brussels sprouts. I had the margarita pizza just because I think margarita is a staple, and you can kind of judge a restaurant by their margarita pizza, but it was absolutely delicious and very crisp. Thin crust, traditional.
We enjoyed the pizza margarita. It had fresh basil leaves on top, and we enjoyed the tangy freshness of the tomato sauce with the mozzarella. And I noticed that my friend and I, that we each just put our crusts on the plate. And I thought, well, okay, we didn't eat the crust, so maybe it wasn't, the crust might have been a little lackluster, but
you just
it was
need ranch dressing.
We needed the ranch dressing.
Yes,
one on each
you
side.
can do the Jeanette. That's you do the Jeanette.
Yes. We started with the rustic sourdough boule, which was baked with spring onions and sprinkled with salt and sumac on top, just moist and crispy on the outside. Then we also had the fresh pea soup served with a ricotta nudi, which is poached ricotta, and it tastes like a dumpling. It's kind of doughy. And that soup was bright green and fresh, and it had a little touch of mint in it, and it just tasted like spring. The ribeye was served with roasted potatoes, cooked medium rare with a glass of red wine. That was just a little bit of heaven.
Well, I was just going to ask about drinks. You are in the middle of wine country.
We are in the middle of wine country, and it's not a huge wine list, obviously, but it's very interesting in the sense that it has wines from many different parts of the world. It has Rhone wines, Loire wines, even from Priorat. And there's one Benziger which is kind of snuck in there. So it's the wines are very carefully chosen, I think, to pair with the different foods.
You can get a glass and a flask.
Yes,
which
you
is
can,
I said, what's a flask? I was a little nervous. And they said, well, it's just a glass and a half.
Yeah.
But it comes in a beaker.
Comes in its own little.
Yeah.
We cannot leave this restaurant without describing one of their signature dishes, which is the fish. It's a dorade fish, and I don't know what magic they pull to do this, but they slice the fish across the back, not on the belly, and they extract all the innards of the fish and the bones from the top. And then they stuff it, and the stuffings change from time to time, there are sauces and so on. They pop it into the oven, that brick oven, and the skin bubbles up and it comes out, and it's perfect.
I love the service. That was probably my number one positive part about the experience. I got to sit in the sunroom, which was adjacent to the restaurant, and it feels like an overflow room. It felt like we were the only non-locals there. People really go there and love the food and really enjoy spending time with their company. Only afterwards did I get to walk through the restaurant and go, oh, this was what was going on in here.
You just have to go back. That's
absolutely.
All, with David, preferably.
Absolutely.
She's already invited me to take her there. So.
And what about desserts?
Desserts, so they make their ice cream there. So we actually tried some of their hand-churned ice cream, and it was the vanilla maple bourbon, which was absolutely creamy, and they serve it in this really delightful little presentation jug. Flavorful, and the vanilla bean was really prominent, which I really love.
It's got a little hint of bourbon. It's not boozy. I think a kid might even eat it. Right. Maybe they wouldn't even notice the bourbon, and they'd sleep great.
All right, David, this is your spot. Give us a quick summary.
Just a fun, deceptively simple, delicious food, great choice of wine. Just go there.
All right, and Shar.
Fresh, creative California cuisine in picturesque Glen Ellen.
Okay, and Jeanette.
I would say if you're looking for farm to table and a constantly changing seasonal menu, this place is for you.
All right, if you would like to try Glen Ellen Star, it's located on Arnold Drive and Warm Springs Road in Glen Ellen. The telephone number is 707-343-1384. It's open every night for dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $50.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by IRG has in-trend surfaces, quieter marbles, and rare exotics. Over 10,000 slabs in stock today. IRG in Brisbane and Dublin and at marblecompany.com.
Mattress systems from European Sleepworks, working to improve comfort and wellness for over 40 years. At Adeline and Ashby in Berkeley. Online at sleepworks.com.
Oakland International Airport. Now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com.
Sutter Health CPMC, 7,000 employees, nurses, and physicians caring for their communities every day. Your city, your hospital. CPMC2020.org. La Tour Angèle Artisan Oils, French-inspired and handcrafted in Northern California. La Tour Angèle creates natural, healthy cooking oils that add new flavor to everyday dishes.
Support for KQED comes from Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 6 Bay Area locations.